Good morning, America. Here we are again. I want to talk to you a little bit today about the deer harvest results Illinois just released yesterday. As luck would have it, we set an archery record this last season. And I don't know this to be true because they didn't divulge all the statistics in this article, but I would venture to guess that it's crossbow related. Last year we had COVID-19 and a lot of extra people were out in the woods that, a lot of people had extra time on their hands. And, today's crossbows, you can literally go to a Rural King and walk out of there with a crossbow set in hand for less than like $500. Anybody ever try to go buy a compound bow lately? Yeah, double that. And that's just for the bare bow. So, do crossbows have a place? Yes. Again, have you ever tried to have your 9-year-old pull back a 75-pound Matthews? No, it doesn't happen. Crossbows have their place for those kids. And crossbows have the place for those who can't pull a bow back. Somebody that's had shoulder surgery or back trouble or neck trouble or whatever. They certainly have a place. And I'm not down on the use of them. I'm certainly not. Hell, at one time I owned one. And there was a time in my hunting career where I was like, well, I'd like to try one of those. That might be fun. Especially in the wintertime. Well, as luck would have it, Illinois, maybe 8 or 10 years ago or so, it's not quite been 10 years, but it's been a while, they started crossbow season. The first season we had was, you started in December after second gun season and ran through until the close of archery. I thought that was acceptable. And I actually bought a crossbow and shot a doe with it at one of my gangbusters tree stands that you just know you're going to encounter an animal. And sure enough, sundown in the snow, early January, here comes a pile of does. Flip. Killed her deader than a hammer and watched her fall inside. And it just didn't do anything for me. Now, at the risk of sounding full of bloodlust, that's not what I mean. I just did not get any sense of accomplishment or pride in the harvest. Now, again, that's personal. It's not me attacking you guys if you're using them. It's just personal preference. Here's what I don't like about crossbows. Makes it easier, plain and simple. Everybody knows it. Stop making the argument that vertical compound bows make it easier than traditional long bows. I get that. That argument doesn't hold water because even with a vertical bow with wheels on it like my compound, I still have to use my physical body to make it shoot. I have to anchor, full draw, hold it back, get through a draw cycle, and release it with my hand or finger. Plain and simple. Is there a mechanical advantage over compound bows over vertical bows of wooden design? Yeah, sure, but it's still a vertical bow. I still have to power it with my own body, and it's still way more difficult than just flipping a safety off, squeezing a trigger through a scope, and killing something. But again, I'm not down on you if you use it. Here's what I'm down on. I'm down on the state of Illinois allowing crossbows the entire length of archery season. They changed that rule that we talked about earlier, that late season rule, into full season a few years ago. Hate it. Awful. Should not be done. And it has nothing to do with me hating a person for using a crossbow or thinking that I'm better than anyone because I don't use them. That's not it at all. That is absolutely not it at all. What I'm most concerned about is overkill. We set a new archery record in 2020. 2019 in my home area, we had a hell of amount of EHD die-off. So why are we setting archery records the year after a localized pandemic? What we call an endemic. There's no scientific need on a conservation standpoint for year-round use of crossbows. There's none. And if there is, I want to be the first to see the data. I want to see it. So that's my beef with crossbows, guys. It has nothing to do with humans that are shooting them and everything to do with the humans creating the laws governing them. Catch you on down the road.